I think we're live. I'm gonna drink some water. Hello and welcome. If you can hear me, please remember to type where you're watching from. Today I have an interesting episode for all those people who wondered what it's like to build a home, how much it costs, the different troubles you might run into, some things that are much easier in Russia. Today we're going to talk about that. And Boston, the Netherlands, United States. Hey, Michael, hello. We have Nelson, Sid Nelson from the Big Island, of course. Oh, NLD? What is NLD? I'm feeling like I should know that. South Africa. Good morning to the people in the United States. Hello, Mississippi. San Francisco. We have Wayne tuning in from Canada. Somewhere. Oh, the Netherlands. Oh, okay. For some reason, it reminded me like of a queen of a Australian territory. Kentucky. I had a good friend in the Marine Corps from Kentucky. Had one of the most random accents I've ever heard in my life. For some reason, the people in Kentucky, like you can have normal kind of accents, but there was my friend who sounded super out of nowhere. Delaware, hello. Okay, I'm going to set up what I wanted to show today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is an episode that I wanted to do live without thinking too much about it, because today actually we received a lot of information about what's going to happen with our building project. And now, as many as you guys know, is that we're building a house here in the oblast. It's called Irkutsk. And my wife and I, we want to build a house. And we've had this plot of land for about January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, almost 4 months. So it's been 4 months almost that we bought this plot of land, and we bought it with the permit to build, but there was already a building there. But now, and I'll start talking about the problems as soon as I catch you guys up in what's happening, what we did, and what the plans were. We're gonna let people in we're gonna let people load in. Then we're just gonna start talking about everything that's happened up to now. I will be telling you how much I paid. I will be telling you how much everything has cost. I actually made a video about it, but I'm gonna do a separate video right now telling you exactly what we spent. If I could just open up. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna show you guys little by little what's been happening. I'm gonna first tell you my story of how we actually bought the property. Okay, so if you don't know, we have 12 sot here in our hometown of Sludanka, and 12 sot is 1,200 square meters. We have a little bit more because we were uh, looking at the map, and I'll tell you why it belongs to us now. We actually acquired more land, and it's pretty interesting how it works. I'm going to open up Google Maps so we can look at it. just so you guys understand what I'm talking about, what we're looking at. Okay, so here we go. Hello, everybody who's just joining. Welcome. This live is going to be about building a home in Russia. We're also going to be going over some news. I have some special news, very important news about the the new forum that we opened on Telegram. Everybody's invited to join. Okay. So can everybody see this? First of all, let me know if you guys can see what's on my screen. What we're looking at right now is the top view of my house and my my land. My land goes across here, and this is basically my land here, okay? Well, when I say my, just remember it's my wife and mine, but she's not here right now, so I'm just going to refer to it as mine. Um, this is what we're looking at right now, and this is an aerial view, and I want to explain to you what we've done since we've bought it. Okay, so let's go over it right now. We paid $10,000 for this. This is $10,000, and the reason why it costs so much is because it's about 10 minutes away from Lake Baikal. It's still within city limits, and for us, we wanted to stay in town. $10,000 for buying property to me is not a lot if it's the location that you want. Again, this is um the plot that looks from the top. Hello, Vaughn. Welcome to the stream. Now, when we bought it, all of this land used to be very uneven. Okay, I'm going to talk about the land. So the land was very uneven. In fact, it was so uneven that you can see, if you went to the end of the land, you could see only half of you, right? So it was like maybe half a meter uneven in different areas, and that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of of a gap. So what we did was we moved all of the dirt from the middle and the back of the on the front of the property, and we pushed it. We pushed it to the back, and we reclaimed a lot of land. So here, this, you can see this car, this little yellow spot, I mean this white spot here, guys. That is actually the first problem we encountered. Oh, sorry. So you see that, you see this little white dot here? That is one neighbor that we had problems with in the beginning. You can see that he's parked on our side of the house, of the property. So actually he tried to take this entire area here where my mouse is. He tried to take all of this. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. He tried to take all of that. And what happened is we said, hey, why are you trying to take this land? And he explained that in Soviet times he had a contract with the owner, and the way we fixed it is that I made him a road. I paid for a tractor to make his private road to his real entrance of his house. Okay, his real entrance is not on that road. There's a back road, and I'm going to show you the road now. A lot of people were like complaining, don't fight with your neighbors and all this. Like, nobody fought with neighbors. Okay, this is the road here. Here's the road. You see, that's where his car is, but this is not his road. His road goes in the back here. And I made a tractor come and make a personal road right here, right to the back of his house. All right, so that was the first problem we had, and we fixed that one really fast. I built him his own road. I paid for everything. He had nothing to worry about. and he was actually a lot happier than he was trying to park somewhere else, because parking in his own private road with his own private parking spot that I made the tractor push whatever the heck was in his way, and he has a private road. That was the first neighbor that we had problems with, and it was the last neighbor that we had problems with. I explained in my last live that my there so the road that we made is not a property. That road that we made is part of a road that the government built a long time ago that disappeared. You see this? These are roads, new roads from the Russian Federation, but here there used to be a Soviet road in the back, but the man didn't have the money to build it. So what I did is I built the road again. It was supposed to cut across in the back. Actually, the government is thinking about making the road, but I already did it for them, which is really funny because when I tell you what happened next, a lot of you guys don't weren't here for the last live. We didn't have problems with the neighbor about the road. We had problems with the government. And now I'm going to explain to you the problem that we had with the road again, and I'll show you on the map. So you can see this is the entrance to our house. This is the road here. This is the main road, and it cuts into this road, okay? What happened is this is the proper width of the road. Okay, this is the proper width. Sorry, I keep forgetting. This is the main road, and it comes in. Do you see the distance between this? How can you check distance on Google Maps? Let me see. I'm not sure how to do it. So 16.81 feet. Let's see. 17 feet. I don't know how much that is in meters. Okay, so that's like 5 meters. It says it's like 5 meters, guys. No, 5 meters. Yes, it says 5.2 meters, okay? So I'm gonna break this down. In the beginning of our road, the distance is 5 meters, guys. It's 5 meters. It's 16 point something feet. Okay, remember that number. Remember that number, and now let me explain what happened. The neighbor in front of us didn't steal my land. When I made the video that our land was stolen, the land was not stolen by the neighbor. The land was stolen by the government. What happened was the front neighbor built his fence on a government road. Okay, I'll say it again. He built his fence on the government road. Now I'll show you where he did that. You can see this part here is normal, but then he built his wall outside like this. He pushed his wall out. He built the buildings there and he pushed his wall out, making this part of the road smaller. And down this one moved down to about 4 meters, okay? So what happened was he shrunk the road because he built his wall on the road. Uh, so this is where the problems this is where the problems start to happen. The road already existed, but what happened was that the property that I had, the property that I bought, was connected by one owner. Okay, so what happened was that neighbor built his wall on the road, and time passed, and then somebody built a house in the back. Okay, let me show you that part. You can see the driveway ends in this house here. You see that road goes down? This road goes down, and then this house needs the road. Okay, that house needs the road. And that was where the problem started. The problem started because the person in the end of the road realized that his space was now shrunk because I was going to move my wall to the right position. We gave everybody enough time and we let everybody know. We said, hey, by the way, we want to build our house, but we want to build the wall at the right place because then we have a bigger yard to work with. Here in Russia, there's a certain distance that you have to build your house from the wall. It's different in every area. I don't know why, but in our town, it's 6 meters. They let us build it, I think, 4 meters from the wall, but it would have been 6 meters. I would have been losing so much land. Um, so you just have to remember, we're not going to give people our land. That's not how it works. When we made the video that people stole our land, we were talking about the government. The government of this town wanted us to sign away almost 100 square meters, and I'll show you now what happened. This is where it starts to get interesting. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what happened. No, I'm not going to. What are you talking about? I'm not going to take away the accusation. I said that they stole land. They stole land. I said I said we were robbed, and we were robbed, but we fought back. I'm not. I'm telling you exactly what happened, and a lot of people are so bothered by me saying that we were robbed. We were this close from being pressured into signing away 100 sot. I mean, one sot. We were this close to being signing away our land. So no. You're completely wrong. When we say we were robbed, we weren't able to touch our fence. We weren't able to touch our land for 3 months, almost 4 months. For 4 months, we weren't able to touch our own land that we paid for. So you're completely wrong there. So it is what it is. I think it's really strange when people try to say give them the land, let them have it. They were there first, guys. What kind of place would Russia be if they didn't do things the right way? And I'll tell you what happened. Our administration tried to make us sign away the land, but a higher government from the Russian Federation came because actually Russia's amazing. The beautiful thing about Russia is that if you have the paperwork, you will never I mean you will probably lose sometimes, but if you have the right paperwork, you're more likely to win. And now I'm going to show you what happened. Now I'm going to show you what happened and how we won our case. So, um when when uh when we found out that we weren't able to touch our land and that we were going to have to sign away our land, our neighbor in the back, Sush, what is it called? The surveyor from the Russian Federation?
Rosriester.
Ros
Riester.
Ros
Riester.
Rosiester.
Ros. Riester.
Ros Riester. Something like this. The surveyors of the Russian Federation, like the high ones, came and they surveyed the land. And actually, they gave the explanation to the town. They said, you guys are in the wrong. Sorry, I pronounced that really bad. The Russian surveyors said that to our administration that their road needs to be reclaimed not by our land but by the land that is on their surveying things. So I'm going to show you the picture now. Rosiester. There you go, something like that. Here's the picture. I'm going to load it up for you. And this is going to show everything. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this. This is what's going to explain everything. So I showed you guys this in the video. And I showed you this in the video with hopes that you guys would understand a little bit more. But I think I might have to do it here on the live again. This will be a little bit better. So this is our property, okay? Now what happened was the man built his road so far close to ours that the government wanted to take away this 193 square meters to build a new road. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So the government said, okay, we'll just take this piece of your land and we'll build a new road. The local government said, just sign here and we'll take this away from you and then we'll make a new road. And the beautiful thing is that in Russia, when you're right, you can call higher powers. And these Russian surveyors came and said to the government, no, 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 no. What are you talking about? You have the points on your computer. You will take back the land that they stole from the Russian government, and you will not take away their land, our land. So we never had problems with the neighbor. We weren't offered any money. They didn't tell us, they didn't say anything else but, hey, come back and sign away this land. So that was the problem. We didn't want to sell the land. This was the land that we wanted. Yeah. And we did get what we paid for. And thank God that the Russian bureaucracy is in place, because you can go to a higher government. So the surveyor from the town did the surveying, but when we bought the plot, we surveyed the land and everything was perfect. We were never in any problem until our neighbor who needed the road said, please don't build the wall because this neighbor built his wall on the road and I can't go in. So we didn't build the road. And that's the problem that we faced. And I hope you guys understand now, whoever's watching, I hope you understand that we didn't fight our neighbors. We never even had contact with our neighbors about this problem. The problem was with the local administration. And that's how it works. I love his name. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. If you don't know, we have some friends from the Defense Politics Asia channel. One of my favorite boys on here. No, thank you, brother. Thank you for always supporting and being a good person in here. And this is what I want to talk about now. This is what I want to talk about. This is why I'm making this stream. Now we're going to get into it. Before we get into it, let me take a 2-minute break to announce something now. I have a great announcement, and then I'm going to announce it later in the video, hopefully while we're still live. So we made a new forums. If you look in the description of this live, there's a new Telegram link where you can join our forum group, and we have sections like visas. We have different types of photos that you can share, currency exchange stuff. We have general conversations. We have work, like jobs conversations. if you look now in the description, you can join our new Telegram. It's a forum Telegram. It's the first of its kind, in my opinion. Um, I think no one else like who has a YouTube channel from the foreigners in Russia has done something like this. That's why I want to be the first one with our community. I want us to be the first ones to create a forum where we can connect from creator to viewer, subscriber to content creator, and subscribers can talk to each other. In that Telegram channel, people have already helped each other find like information for finding work in Russia. There's also professionals like visa, different visa companies that I allow for now to um, talk about what they can do. We're allowing people who have like professional visa centers inside of Russia who can help people. We allow them to help you guys for free in our Telegram for now. But in the future, if they're competing too much for like I guess for how would I say it? We just don't want it to turn into like advertisement for all these companies. I don't want you guys to be targeted. I just want you guys to have the information. So in this Telegram, you will be connected to me, but you'll also be connected to other subscribers, which is absolutely cool. Just check it out and tell me what you think. Sid, could you please, is it possible to comment on this live already? I'll pin it. If you can copy the link and post it here, I'll clip it. I'll pin it. Yes, but in our Telegram, you can find people who can help you. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Okay. As soon as we get the link to the Telegram, I will be continuing on and telling you about the permits that we've had to fight for. There's permits that you have to get in order to have a house in Russia. Now, it's not impossible. It's not so hard. It's not so difficult. But in reality, you don't want to wait. We actually made the huge mistake in waiting. So this right here, guys, I'm gonna pin our moderator's message. It is pinned now. That is our new Telegram forums. Okay, this is what's gonna be the legitimate Telegram channel of our community. So yeah, that's what it is. Let's continue with the live. So I'm gonna tell you right now, when you buy property in Russia, it's a process. It's a process because you have to do it, sign a lot of paperwork. I'll show you just how big the paperwork is. Well, actually, I just hit my knee and I'm holding the pain in. I'll show you the big pack of paperwork so you know what to expect. Like, this is how thick it is, and you have to read everything and sign everything. There's different there's so much paper here that you have to read through. So everything's in here, and I'm going to explain to you how it happened. We went to the place where everything gets registered in Russia. There's a building where you get like your driver's license, your national passport, where you do all sorts of paperwork. In this place, you can also do your property exchange, like title changes happen in this building. And what happened was I took $10,000. At that time, it was probably a little bit more than 1,000,000 rubles. Oh no, it was about 1,000,000 rubles. I had a stack of just 5,000 rubles, a big two or three stacks of 5,000. and we took it to this place, and we had to do it like we had to be watched by a camera when we exchanged the money. I had to give him the money, and it had to be documented. I don't know if this was the right way to do it, but we had to be in a place where we were looked at. It was really interesting. We gave him the money. We gave him the money, and he counted it, and Ksenia started signing everything. After we signed everything, there's like 3 things we had to register. We had to register for the waste management. You have to pay, but we haven't registered. I mean, we haven't paid for that yet, but you have to register that you're the new owner. You have to register the electricity, and you have to register, I think, the water if you have water, running water, but we don't have that because we're gonna drill for water. We also had to what else have we registered? We did electricity, we have to do the trash. What else do you have to register?
House you made with land,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yeah. So now after you register all these things, if you wanna build, if you have a building permit on a land, you can go ahead and build. We had it, but, you can see we had already a building there, but it's not with the house that we want. So we have to go back to the government and delete this, and this is where the problems start because you can't build another house if this house is already there. Like, the building permit for a house to live in, for it's like, for us here, we need to delete the house that we have now and get a new building permit, but we're unable to get a new building permit because we live next to a river, and I'm gonna show you that damn river that's making our life miserable right now. We aren't able to build because we can't get our build permit. I'm gonna show you the river. So, there's our house here. It's 100 feet away. It's 30 meters away, guys. The river is 30 meters from our house. And if you have like a river or you live in a seismic area like the one we live in, we need a specialist to come see if we can actually build in this place. I don't know. So we need to get checked by the local government again to see if our land is stable enough to build a house. I guess the distance that it's between it's for seismic activity and flooding. So right now our biggest issue is that they won't let us build because we are in danger of being flooded. There's never been any problems with flood. We asked all the neighbors, so we should be good. But the Russian government makes sure that if you are within a distance between a river and your house, that they're going to check and do all the paperwork that's needed. And that's when I'm telling you guys, in Russia, they really do everything. Like, oh, you want to do this? Well, let's check on that, right? So before we even get our building permit, we have to be permitted to get a building permit from the local administration. They're gonna come check and see if it's safe to build next to this river. Okay, let me show you something else. I wanna show you this cool video that we took. Um, the government, when we took the the paperwork that said, "Hey, look, we have the points in the right position," and the Russian Federation surveyors gave that paperwork to the administration. Administration decided, "Okay, we're not gonna take your land. You can build your wall wherever you want as long as it's on your land." So then what we did, um, check this out. This is a video of us taking down Hey, welcome, welcome, Josue. This is a video that I wanted to show you guys. Pay attention to the sky above, okay? This is a time lapse of us taking the wall down finally. The wall is already off, but we recorded this and I wanted to show you guys so you can see how beautiful the views are. Just look at that beautiful sky rolling in the back. In the future, we're going to be looking at that. That's going to be our view if you step out, excuse me, outside of our house, you're going to be looking at that view. That's going to be our background. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I just wanted you guys to see the beautiful background. This is a really good question, Dorky. So before we bought the land, we surveyed it. Again, our we never had problems with our land. Our land was absolutely clean. Our land had no prior owners that had any debt on the land. Our land was not indebted to the government in any way. Our land was clean. Our land was outside of the road. Our land was perfect. We surveyed our land. So I think that you're not understanding what happened. Uh, you need to understand that we checked everything, but we are not. When you want to build, you there's no way around it. We can't move the river. We knew the river was there, but in a small town, the person who's going to check is gone on vacation for a month. There's only one person that does the job of surveying the land to see if it's safe for flooding, and he's gone until October, babe. Yeah, the guy is gone until October. So technically, we're not gonna be able to build the foundation this year. So that ruins our plans. Maybe we can build it in November, but maybe not. Perhaps we can dig the ground. It's not gonna be so frozen in November, but we did the work, guys. We checked everything. There's no way you can't move the river, basically. How's everybody doing? Yeah, they're gonna check for flooding and seismic activity, and everything is fine, guys. The river is very small. It's one of the many rivers that goes into Lake Baikal. There's not a problem. We're gonna be doing a slab foundation, so we're gonna dig a big hole, a little bit bigger than the diameters of the house, and we're going to put a cement bed on top. Yeah, we're gonna so now that we know that we can actually move our wall, we will be planting trees next year. Next year's when we're gonna be putting the greenhouse where we need it. Next year's when we're gonna be planting the bushes. We're gonna be planting everything that we need is gonna happen next year. This year we weren't able to do almost anything because the government didn't allow us to build a wall until 4 months after we bought the land. Um, yeah, I can show you just how big the river is. It's not really close to being shown on the Google Maps. I mean, it's you see this part here? This is the river. It's really small. You can't even see it. That's how small it is. You can't really see the river. Here it is, but the river ends up being going into Lake Baikal. You see this, guys? This is the same river, and it floods into Lake Baikal. Look at that. Boom. Isn't it so crazy that 30 meters away from my backyard, you can kayak? The river's big enough to kayak, and I will take a kayak, and I will buy a kayak, and I will go all the way to Lake Baikal. But isn't it interesting that 30 meters away, I can get on a kayak and go all the way to the largest lake in volume in the world? Isn't that insane? That's crazy to me. Yeah, I don't really care when people know where I live because it's hard for me to get here. Good luck for you trying to get here. It's really funny. When we start building, I think that the channel, what I'm gonna do is just put the camera down and record and just upload straight to YouTube without doing so much editing. I'm trying to create content that people will watch, but also things that I will enjoy doing. I enjoy doing lives like this, telling you guys how I feel and how things are how things are. I think it's really important to communicate. I haven't had anybody tell me I need a fishing license. I don't know if they exist. No one I know in Russia has a fishing license, but everybody fishes. You can ask somebody in Russia who's in the chat if they need one. I have a very special video now, Dorky, or sorry, Druki. Because of this comment, I'm gonna show you now another special video that I have queued up for you guys. Um, I hope you really, really are ready for something really cool like this one. This is only for live viewers. So this is gonna be an exclusive video of my wife picking the last potatoes of the season. So this is my wife picking the last potatoes from our garden this year. Um, so please give Senia like a W in the chat like we do now. Please, this is gonna be super cool to show you guys so you guys can see just how much potatoes we've been harvesting. W's in the chat again while I cue this next one, please. Let me see those W's for the for the swoosh. Here we go. Look at this. So we we if it's not a secret that we're not the best like gardeners so far. We're not we weren't really settled in, okay? We don't have a greenhouse. We don't have proper tools in the beginning. A lot of this stuff that I'm gonna show you, like it's a small clip, but these potatoes were planted. Babe, when were they planted? Like June almost? Potatoes were planted in June?
Uh-huh.
Guys, we planted those potatoes in June. Usually in this area, they plant them like in early May. As soon as the weather, as soon as the ground kind of defrosts, people are already putting potatoes on the ground. And we planted a month late, but wow, have we harvested. Check it out. This is the Such harvesting the last of our potato. Baby. Look how many potatoes are on the ground. Isn't that crazy? And she's always she's always the one to get the potatoes. I'll play the video again for you. I'll look for some other videos that we may have taken, but Xenia is the only one who touches those damn potatoes. We eat those. We've been eating potatoes since like July. July we took the first potatoes, huh? Mine.
Last week of July.
Yeah, the last week of July was the first month and was the first time we ate potatoes from the garden. They were from my part of the garden. In July, guys, we planted in June and I was harvesting in the last week of July. Our soil is super rich. We had before the owner, he had cows on our land. He had cows for about 30 years and he never picked up the poop. So what I did was I put all of that poop and all of that soil all the way at the end, and that's where we planted the 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 potatoes. Check it out. I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to show you the video one more time cuz I think it's amazing. If you're just coming in, guys, these are the last potatoes of the season, brought to you by my wife.
Baby.
We eat the baby potatoes. Classic. So cool. Oh my God. We've been eating potatoes for so long. Definitely. I mean, we have, well, that's one of the most famous fish, but you're not allowed to fish them. Like, you're not supposed to target the omul, but if you capture it, you are able to eat it. We haven't bought potatoes since July, the last week of July. So we're still eating the potatoes from that video. We're gonna have enough potatoes until maybe October, right? So we planted a little bit only. You guys have seen some of the videos. We didn't plant a lot of potatoes, but we've been eating only from our garden since the middle of July, I think, because we've been eating already from the garden since late June. We've been eating radish, we've been eating green onions, we've been eating carrots, we've been eating zucchini. It's amazing what we've been eating, okay? I have another video here saved for you guys, I think, queued up, also exclusive for the live. Let me see. Yes. I have hmm, I'm trying to get to the right, here we go. I wanted to show you this video because some of you guys maybe are not, maybe some of you guys have joined this channel way after, but actually it's almost winter. And this is me uh, grabbing onto the back of a buhanka. This is on Lake Baikal. And the reason why I'm showing you this video is because when winter comes again, I'm going to be doing winter activities. This video right here was taken in 2023, the beginning of 2023 on Lake Baikal. This was shot by the real reporter on his drone. And this is what I want to do in this winter. I want to do things that you've never seen before, like going dog sledding, doing like winter activities. I still haven't learned to ice skate. I'm really bad at it. So I'm trying my best this winter to learn how to ice skate. I want to do a lot of things on Lake Baikal as it's frozen. Like I said, some of you guys are new to this channel, but this is the kind of stuff that I did in the past. And I really want to be able to take you guys on Lake Baikal again because I won't be able to be building. I won't have time to be doing like building activities. It's basically what I have to do now, like in winter there's going to be more time for myself and my wife and doing things outside. This is one of the things that I like to do is like in Los Angeles we just call it hood rat stuff. I know it sounds like really disgusting, like mean English, but we just say in California, I want to do hood rat things with my hood rat friends, and this is what it is. Question: will they allow ice fishing chanties out on the lake? What is chanties? So you can ice fish on the lake and you can live on the lake as long as you want. As long as it's frozen, you can stay on the lake. There's there's like entire there's sometimes people go on Lake Baikal and they live on it for about a week. They ice fish and they have big communities of ice fishermen there. So I don't know what a shanty is, but that's what happens. Yeah, so if you have a car, you can drive it on Lake Baikal. Um, but if you're like a local, you'll probably do it. If you're not from here, don't do it because these people are professionals. They're people from Buryatia, like Buryat people who live on the ice and do a lot of things on the ice. Like there's tradition to being on the ice. That's how it is here in this part of Russia. Like it's like native Asian groups, right? Like Native Americans, but like Native Asian people, the Buryat people, the people from Tuba, these people who lived here for a long time, they do these kind of activities on the ice. And what you're seeing there is actually a Buryat man, a local driving us on Lake Baikal. Yeah, you can ice fish tent here on Lake Baikal as long as you can survive there. I've seen people stay on out on the lake for over a week. The problem with rollerblading is that I can't find rollerblades here in my town. I'd have to order them like on Wildberries or something, and it's not good because I don't know what they would feel like on my feet, and I would have to wait till they come. If they don't work, I have to send them back and wait another week. I'm just gonna try to build. I'm just trying to ice skate just by practicing this year. Okay, I have another video for you guys. I'm just gonna show you guys some pretty cool videos from the good days, the good old times. And the reason why I'm showing you some of these older videos is because some of you guys like I said, from the old times. Some of you guys are not from the old times, rather. And I want to show you the kind of stuff that we used to do on this channel, but we had to start building this house, and that's just more important to me right now, is building this house and getting uh, further ahead on it. All right, let's take the tour around the Git. Um, Second, let me see. I have a really cool video I want to show you. Bear with me. I guess I'm not gonna find it. Oh, yes, I am. I found it. Okay, here we go. So one of my best friends in Russia is Lars from Survival Russia. And if you want to see more things outside, like in the forests and nature survival stuff, follow Survival Russia. He's actually the first cool guy that I met on YouTube, and I'm gonna show you the kind of stuff that we do when we're together. In 2022, I was with him. I'm gonna go back in 2025 to go camping with him. So here you can see one of his little vehicles that he has. And now I'm going to show you the next one. It's loading. Sorry for that. It's just I want to show you the cool amphibious not amphibious, the engineer vehicle that he has. It's really really cool. It's really really cool. And it's loading and loading and loading. All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite videos of all time. This is my favorite video, definitely from 2023. 2023, or when did I go to Kirov? 2022 or 2023?
Free.
All right, yeah, this is my favorite video from 2023, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, this is me on top of Lars's vehicle, and it's super, super cool. Check it out. That's just hilarious, man. Oh my God, I love that thing. And it's so cool, man. Here in Russia, that's one of the things you wouldn't expect, right? Because I think that America is mostly known for having random ass like weapons and tanks and helicopters and stuff like that. But actually, Lars is not the only one who has such a vehicle. And it's really cool that you have a friend that can just take you out in such a thing. It's so special, man. I love it. And he does a camping trip every year. And I'm thinking about going on this trip again in 2025 next year. So that's another thing that you should look forward to. Yeah. So let's have right before I log off, let's get through some questions. If anybody has any questions, if you joined in before I talked about, okay, I'll get to this question. So when I'm talking about things that are hard in Russia, if you are in a small town like I am, Andrea, you have to watch out. Always ask for how many permits you need. Okay, you have to make sure that you start every permit on time. So before I get a permit to build a house, before I even get a building permit, I have to get a permit to be able to build in a place that is close to a river and is in a seismic area. So Lake Baikal has a lot of tension because it's I think two plates diverging, and so we need many types of permits before we get a building permit. We've already had problems building because of our neighbor who stole the road. So just take that into account, Andrea, that if you want to build in Russia, ask around and say, what kind of permits do I need in this area? Every place in Russia is going to be different. It's not the same. There's no standard in Russia. There's very few things that are standard all over Russia. So, like it's the Russian Federation. A lot of the different oblasts have different rules. And some places in some oblasts, you probably won't even be able to buy land in certain areas. Just that's what I mean by it's hard, okay? I hope I answered your question. So internet access is really good. Like internet in Russia is probably the best internet I've ever had in my entire life. I'm in a small town, and even here we have internet. I've been to many places and they have internet in the middle of nowhere. Of course, you're going to be out in Siberia, like really far from civilization. You may not have internet there, but my best buddy over there in Quito, Lars, even he has internet and he lives in a village with two families. Okay. So think about that. If he has internet in that small village, that's how it works. So, Technologics, if you want to get money into Russia, join our new Telegram group. It's linked, and there you can seek assistance. There's people that can help you with that. If you just join the chat as well, we opened a new Telegram group. That's a forum, and there it's just a place where you can get a lot of information like the ones we're doing now. I had a dream to open up a Mexican restaurant, but it's impossible in Russia. And I accept it. All the restaurants in Russia that have Mexican food are really bad. Moscow has the worst Mexican food. Irkutsk has okay Mexican food. The problem with Mexican food is that you need actual ingredients. Mexican food is built by corn, good beans, and good rice. And Russia doesn't have corn, good beans, and good rice because it needs it very fresh. And it doesn't have aguacate, avocado. That's another one that we use a lot for guacamole. We used to put all of these things on top. In Russia, you don't have the most fresh vegetables. And I'm not saying this in a rude way. It's just that Mexico has better temperature to farm and it has more fresh ingredients. So our food is a lot more fresh than you would find in Russia for Mexican food. Russian food is very fresh, very organic, very clean, but you can't plant corn like we plant corn in Mexico and Russia. Impossible. I've never ate one good avocado in Russia. So Ksenia goes on the videos whenever she wants. She actually filmed her own video not too long ago. If you look at my channel, you will see that Ksenia made her own video um, where it says Russian gardening pays off. So Ksenia did a whole harvest video cooking the food. Ksenia does cooking videos. Goodbye, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so my dream of having a Mexican restaurant in Russia, I'm never going to do it. I decided because I will not dishonor my culture. I will not dishonor my heritage by making like half good food. In Russia, you're really good for making like Middle Eastern food is really good here. Georgian food is really good here. Russian food is really good here. Asian food is really good here. But American food, like from like real America, not the United States, like Native American foods like Mexican food, Peruvian food, Colombian food, very hard to make here in Russia. Not You're not going to find the ingredients. Another thing is to get the ingredients, let's say it's possible, but to get somebody who can cook for me because I can't be the cook. It's also going to be very hard to convince a Mexican, an authentic Mexican, to live in a cold climate. Like Mexicans that have lived the majority of their life in Mexico do not like cold weather. I'm the exception because I didn't live my whole life in Mexico. My plan is to have a greenhouse and have an avocado tree and maybe plant some corn and try at least once a year to make one or two tortillas. But that's just how it is. Like it's impossible to make really good Mexican food. Hey, Josue, please, Josue, join the forums. Join the forums, brother. The link for Telegram, if you have Telegram, Josue, join it. I need you on there. I need some of the channel members as moderators for the Telegram as it grows bigger. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I'm thinking about having her record things, but again, it's up to her. I can't force her to do anything. A lot of people sometimes they ask, hey, can we see this? Can we see Xenia do that? Can she talk more? But it's what she wants to do. You want to say hi? No? Like she doesn't want to come on and say hi on the live. And I respect that. I don't want to force her to do anything.
It's just already too late and I almost sleep.
She says she's almost sleeping. It is 1 in the morning here, by the way. Um, yeah, thank you so much for pointing that out. I'm gonna show the video one more time of the rolling clouds behind our house because I think it's gorgeous. I just love the location of our place. And you know, our house is only about 10 minutes away from Lake Baikal. You can actually see Lake Baikal from the road that goes into our house. And the river behind our house goes into Lake Baikal. So it's just such a magnificent area. It's a beautiful place of the world, really. If it gets a little bit warmer, like global warming, it's not really going to bother me because this is going to be just perfect for me. Already, I don't suffer in winter, so it's not going to be so bad. Neanderthal blood. I'm not sure about that. We're gonna do a DNA test on Xenia. We're gonna do a DNA test right on you.
Oh,
DNA test.
uh-huh.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a DNA test on Xenia, and I wonder if you guys would be interested in seeing what a DNA of like a Siberian person is, because Xenia's ancestors have been in Siberia for about we know at least of 5 generations that are from this area around Lake Baikal. So if you want to see what genetics she's made of, I think it would be a really cool video. Because I'm trying to do things that not a lot of people are doing on this community. Like I know there's other channels, but we have to keep it fresh. Yeah. What else can I show you? Oh, you don't have to live in Russia when you have your tourist visa, but when you have your residency, your temporary residency, you do have to be 100 and something days, 100 and like three days more than half. I'm not sure how many days, but you do have to be here as a resident. You do. We're trying to have kids, and the kids are going to be going to school here in Russia. Maybe I might take my kids to Mexico for like 2 or 3 years, so that they can learn Spanish as well. Because I think that it's important for people to travel. So I want to have kids here in Russia. They can go to school here, but I want them to go to school in Mexico, um, for about 2 to 3 years. I think it's the best for kids. They will be learning Russian as their first language, English as their second language, and Spanish as their third language. And as many of you guys know, like people from Russia, a lot of them immigrants like me, their kids end up speaking a lot of different languages. So Mexico is not a dangerous place if you're not a bad person. Usually, the people that get in trouble or caught in bad things are doing things the wrong way. Mm, Xenia was there, and she can tell you about it on the next live. So yeah, I don't think that Mexico is a dangerous place. Actually, we'll put that back up. Mexico has a bad reputation because of the news that comes from the United States. Russia's going through it now, but before it was Mexico who was the victim of misinformation from the United States. There's more death and crime in America than there is in Mexico when it comes to like murders. Okay, murders between civilians. There's a lot of a lot of more mass shootings in America. There's a lot of more school stuff that are happening in America. And like if you go to Compton, I'm pretty sure you're gonna run into violence. So Mexico was the victim of propaganda from the United States since the 1990s, and now it's Russia. Is Russia a bad place? I don't know. Ask the United States media. Yeah, apparently there was something that happened in Georgia. Apparently something happened in Georgia and there was somebody, I don't know what happened, but anyways. And no, it's not a very dangerous place. Like this is the misconception. It's ridiculous. It's not any more dangerous than I don't know what to compare it with. And if it was dangerous, then you would have to explain to me why there's a huge wave of Americans and Canadians and Australians and New Zealanders retiring in Mexico now. If it was dangerous, it wouldn't be a very lucrative place for retirement. All right. Well, I just wanted to clear up all the things that happened with us and our building, guys. Thanks for everybody who came and joined the Telegram. It is linked down below in the description. It is pinned as a comment here. And there's going to be a new episode this weekend about our wedding. You guys are finally going to see like the wedding video, which we already have a live, but I'm going to cut everything up and have a proper wedding video. And there's going to be a camping video showing our new tent. And the Real Reporter is going to release a wedding video, a huge wedding video. All right. Thank you guys so much. No, thank you. You're the best, bro.